Lena Avery had only meant to stop for one night. After a 10-hour bus ride with her 4-month-old son, Rowan, her entire body ached with exhaustion. Her eyes burned from lack of sleep. Her arms throbbed from holding her baby through bumps and turbulence, and her breath trembled each time she tried to steady herself. She had packed lightly just one diaper bag, a small suitcase, and Rowan's soft blue blanket, but the weight of uncertainty she carried was something no one could see. She needed a room. One quiet night of rest before continuing her trip to meet her husband, Callum. He'd been away for weeks overseeing a major construction project, and tonight was supposed to be the midpoint where he finally sent for her so they could finish the journey together. But things hadn't gone as planned. Callum had insisted on arranging transportation and accommodations for her, but a sudden storm grounded the private shuttle and forced Lena to take a last-minute bus. She couldn't reach him after his final message, "Stay safe. If anything changes, go straight to the Rosemond Suites. I'll handle everything." So she did. Carrying Rowan carefully against her chest, she stepped into the glistening lobby of the Rosemond Suite Hotel, the tallest, grandest building in the small city of Fairwater. Crystal lights shimmered above golden marble floors. Everything sparkled, except the look on the receptionist's face. Behind the counter, a sharply dressed woman with sleek blonde hair and a rigid posture narrowed her eyes at Lena as if she were tracking mud across the marble floor. "Yes?" the receptionist asked, stretching the word with thin, visible disdain. Lena swallowed, rocking Rowan gently as he stirred. "Hi, I'd like a room for the night, please." The receptionist's eyes swept over her, taking in the tired face, the unwashed hair, the faded t-shirt, the fraying baby bag. Her lips curled. "We're fully booked," Lena frowned softly. "Oh, the website said there were vacancies." "We're fully booked," the woman repeated, her tone clipped. "And even if we weren't," she let her gaze drift to the baby. "We're a luxury establishment. Most of our guests value quiet and professionalism." Lena felt her cheeks flush. "We won't be any trouble. My husband was supposed to—" The woman raised a hand, cutting her off. "Ma'am, you don't understand how booking works. I can't just give a room to anyone who wanders in." Off the street with a crying baby, Rowan whimpered quietly at the sound of her voice. The receptionist rolled her eyes. Lena gently bounced him. "He's just tired. I'm just tired. I really need you to understand that this is not the place for someone in your situation." "My situation?" Lena repeated, confused. "Yes, a single mother who can't afford a proper sitter or a safe travel arrangement." She sighed dramatically. "It's irresponsible, really, or desperate." The words hit Lena like a slap. "I'm not," she took a breath. "I'm not irresponsible, and I'm not desperate. I'm traveling to meet my husband. He told me, oh please," the receptionist scoffed loudly. "Every woman who walks in with a baby and a story says the same thing. My husband is coming. My husband will pay. My husband arranged this. I've heard it all, and it's always a lie." A few guests turned to look. Lena felt something inside her crack, not anger, not pride, but a small, quiet sense of breaking. She hadn't slept more than 2 hours the night before. She hadn't eaten since noon. She just wanted a room, a bed, a place where Rowan could rest. "I'm telling the truth," she whispered. "My husband told me to come here." "His name is—" "No," the receptionist snapped. "I don't care what name you give me. You are not staying here." Lena's fingers tightened on Rowan's blanket. I can pay, she tried again. I have money, oh? With what? The receptionist sneered. A handful of crumpled bills from a bus ride? Lena's breath shook. She reached into the diaper bag, searching for her wallet, and her phone buzzed. Callum. Hey love, I'm about to step away from the construction site. Did you reach the hotel? Her chest tightened with relief. She typed quickly. I'm here, but something's wrong. Almost immediately, her phone buzzed again, this time with a call. She answered quietly. Callum? Lena? His tone sharpened instantly. What happened? You sound upset. She turned away from the counter, voice trembling. They won't let me get a room. What? His voice dropped, low, dangerous. Why not? She hesitated, her eyes stinging. The receptionist said I don't look like I belong here, that Rowan might disturb guests. She implied I made up having a husband. A long, cold silence followed. Then slowly, Callum exhaled a controlled, chilling sound she rarely heard from him. Put me on speaker, he said. Lena turned back to the desk, hands trembling slightly. He wants to speak with you. The receptionist smirked. I'm sure he does. Lena set the phone on the counter, speaker mode on. Callum's voice cut through the lobby like a blade. This is Callum Avery. The receptionist froze. A flicker of recognition sparked and vanished. Sir, she said stiffly, your wife claimed, stop talking. His tone held a quiet force that made the woman blanch. And listen carefully. Several guests turned toward the sound of his voice. You are speaking, Callum continued, to the man who designed, funded, and built the Rosamond Suite Hotel from the ground up. The receptionist's face went white. And you, Callum added, just humiliated my wife and child in the lobby of my own hotel. Lena's breath caught. The receptionist swallowed audibly. Mr. Avery, I didn't know. That's obvious, Callum said coldly. Because if you did, you wouldn't still be standing at that desk. Lena covered her mouth, heart pounding. Callum's voice softened only when he spoke to her. Love, stay right there. I'm already on my way. He hung up. The receptionist looked like she might faint. The lobby had gone silent. Guests whispered. A bellboy stepped backward like he'd witnessed an earthquake. The receptionist stood paralyzed, hands shaking, lips pressed tightly together as if holding back a scream. Lena held Rowan close, her heart racing. She'd known her husband was successful, brilliant, respected, quietly powerful, but she had never imagined this moment. She had never seen someone crumble under the weight of his name. Minutes later, the glass doors of the lobby slid open. Callum Avery entered with the controlled intensity of a storm. Tall, sharply dressed, despite the dust of the construction site on his sleeves, his presence commanded the entire room. Conversations died instantly. His gaze locked onto Lena, first softening only for her, then shifted to the receptionist with a coldness that made the room tremble. He walked straight to Lena. Are you all right? He murmured, brushing a hand over Rowan's tiny head. Her eyes flooded with relief. I'm okay, just tired. Callum exhaled, jaw tight. He turned toward the receptionist. You, he said quietly. She nearly stumbled backward. Mr. Avery, you insulted my wife. You denied her a room. You called her a liar. His voice was deadly calm. And you disrespected the mother of my child. Tears welled in the woman's eyes. I didn't know who she was. You shouldn't have needed to, he said. Any guest deserves respect, especially a mother carrying a child in her arms. The woman began to shake. Please, I'm sorry. Callum didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. "You're dismissed," he said simply. "Effective immediately." A manager rushed forward, nodding nervously as he escorted the trembling receptionist away. Callum placed a hand on Lena's back. "Come with me." He guided her toward the private elevator, reserved only for owners and top executives. Guests stared in awe as the doors closed behind them. Inside, Lena finally whispered, "Callum, I didn't want trouble. I just needed a room." He looked at her with such tenderness, it made her throat tighten. "You'll never be treated that way again, not while I'm breathing." She leaned against him, Rowan nestled between them. When they reached the top floor, a penthouse suite Lena had never seen. Callum unlocked the door, stepped inside with her, and wrapped her in an embrace that felt like coming home. "You belong here," he whispered, "with me. Always." For the first time since her exhausting journey began, Lena felt safe, truly, deeply safe. And as Callum kissed the top of Rowan's head, she realized something else. No matter how cruel the world could be, her family had never been stronger.